Welcome to Body Wisdom by Marianne. I'm Marianne. Today I'm going to be breaking down the three components of body wisdom. I, as you know, are creating an atlas of a visual atlas of the emotional bodies and where we hold and store stress. So essentially what I'm doing is mapping, so you have a pain here, what the emotion may be represented in this pain here, or here, or here. On the first layer, which I have called base for now, this is just a placeholder name. On the base layer, most of the skin is covered, and we're talking about emotions that are very much our day-to-day living, like the idea of wanting to grasp something, we want to hold something, feeling bitter and resentful, feeling frustrated, confused, that sort of stuff. And then we have the second layer, which is very complex, I feel. And I've called it for now layers. Layers may be related to the electrical field around us, which some people would call aura. I don't know yet. There's a relationship there. It is very interesting because it's divided into 12 components. So each layer is actually slightly further out from the body in the way it's felt or represented. And they're more big picture concepts as well. So the idea of creating something, nurturing something from your very being, or the idea of being authentically expressing yourself. So big picture concepts. And then of course, when your body's not well, when you're struggling to be authentic, when you are feeling like you can't create what is in your very heart and make it come into being, that sort of stuff. We'll address that later. So that's 12 aspects. The more dense and doesn't come up as frequently are the layers 1, 2, 3, that sort of stuff. And then all the way up to 12. So as I said, it's related to our electrical field. And we can have a conversation about that at another day. So then there's the third system that I've called by accident stars, which the further I go along with stars, the more I realize that actually they're single points in space and it's very much like a constellation. So maybe it was a bit of a happy accident naming it stars for now. The star system seems to be related to Tibetan acupuncture. Now, many of you are probably wondering, what the hell is Tibetan acupuncture? But so traditional Chinese medicine, which is used by the Korean and the Japanese, that's the classic acupuncture that you're probably used to seeing in media and may have experienced it yourself. Tibetan acupuncture has its own tradition and is similar in the way it maps meridians, but of course it's mapping something different. And what I am looking at with stars seems to correlate most strongly with that. And so it's quite magical. It seems to be related to our spiritual sense or our way of navigating in the world, following our path, understanding ourselves, that sort of stuff. It's my favorite. Anyway, so let's go back to base. Base, the very first system I discovered, as I said to you earlier, it covers the skin in terms of, most of the skin is covered is what I mean. So let me give you an example. I had a beautiful lady come in once who had a bald patch right there. And the emotions with that bald patch were something that she felt she had experienced all her life, and that is like not belonging or feeling dislocated. She actually was a migrant to Australia, but it was a feeling she had had when she actually lived in her country of origin. And so for her, she was amazed because the only part of her head that had lost hair was that tiny little patch, and that correlated with that emotion that she felt very strongly all her life. So there's an example of how base can work. I feel base relates to, this is my current witnessing of it, is that it relates to when you have multiple meridians that are on your face, and then I think the meridians are interacting. For those of you who understand a little bit of physics, it's a bit like when you have two electrical fields near each other, or two magnetic fields, and they're having an interaction. So stomach meridian runs down through here. Say you've got large intestine or small intestine, etc. And then there's a relationship between them. So it seems to be like a clashing or a expansion of those two together. That's my basic rundown of base, layer and stars. I hope it's not too overwhelming, confusing. It will become clear as I further explain this to you.